Okay, joined in the Pouring Crush studio today by Kimmy Granger, I think one of the all-time greats in the history of the adult industry. And it's Christmas in July right now, folks, because Kimmy is announcing that she is returning to the adult industry after a couple years of being out of the business. And I know people are going to be so excited to hear that. And just let's get right into it, Kimmy. What happened to make that button click to make you say, hey, I want to get back in?
I was over these last handful of years, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe 3 or 4 years, I dealt with a lot of personal hardships. Obviously, I lost my mom, and then COVID happened. And then, even prior to losing my mom, I got my heart broken. I had a lot of things that were setting me back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was getting over addiction issues after my mom, and I was buying a house, and then I got into a relationship, and then I fell apart in that, and then I let things continually allow me to fall apart and set me back from being able to perform or have any activity in the industry whatsoever other than my OnlyFans.
Right.
And that was a major resentment that I had with myself because I have been dying and dying to get back in and go back to shooting mainstream for major
Mm-hmm.
companies. And I, hold on one second. Elliot? Sorry. Elliot!
That's okay.
God, I'm so sorry. I'm remodeling my house right now, and one of my contractors here is talking on the phone in the kitchen.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm so sorry.
Take your time.
Can I go tell him to
Shut up. Yeah, no, no, yeah.
really? I'm so sorry.
No, no.
One
We'll,
second. No, but as I was saying, I had a lot of personal setbacks that obviously were something that deterred me from being able to perform, from being able to go out and just be part of the industry at all. And that was a personal resentment that I had with myself. And um, it was just one of those things that I planned on going back and doing. I just didn't have the bandwidth or the emotional capacity, or there was always something going on.
mm-hmm.
And now that all of these things are settled, I have made peace with my hardships. I have made peace with everything around me. I've grieved over my mom. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not letting anything get in my way. I am
Yeah.
ready to take action and take this by the balls and get back in there and handle it.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah. You seem like you're in a real good place right now,
I
mentally. I
am.
mean, it's like you're strong. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
What did you miss about it? I mean, I know you didn't feel like you were ready to come back. You wanted to wait till the right time. But when you were away, what were some of the little things that you missed?
I just, I miss networking. I miss the people. I miss being on set. I miss working with certain directors. There's a lot of things. I miss performing. I love making scenes. It's like an art form for me. I always took a lot of pride in my performance and providing people with something that I love doing and something that they love me doing. And I
Mm-hmm.
miss having that sense of belonging. I always felt deeply like the moment I got into the porn industry that I belonged here. This is exactly where I wanted to be. This is where I needed to be.
Right.
And I I just miss having that sense of community and
Mm-hmm.
everything. The porn industry has always provided me with so many wonderful things, and
Yeah.
it always gave me a great deal of purpose too. And I miss having that feeling that I don't know. I just always felt like since I've been gone, that I've had just a huge piece of me missing, and I want to get that back. Definitely, I have a
Yeah.
lot of unfinished business with mainstream porn. I have a lot of unresolved things, and I want to win awards, and I
Mm-hmm.
really want to like take control and take my power back.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the Kimmy Granger we're going to see now different than, I mean, because you were so great before, I can't imagine it getting much better. Like, how do you think you could be different now? And maybe it's offset, onset, either way.
I think that the only thing that'll be different really is just my dedication to it. Like I said, there was a lot of times where I allowed personal issues to get in the way of me even just showing up to set or I canceled a lot. I had a lot of issues with canceling and not showing up and not fulfilling my responsibilities to companies and other things. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I want, that's probably the thing that's going to be different is I'm going to show up and I'm always going to deliver a phenomenal scene. I'm going to try to do my best to give everybody what they need and what they want from me. And, but nothing's really changed. I'm still the same quirky, shit talking fucking train wreck. I mean, I'm not perfect by
Oh,
any means, but
right. What was? How did the folks over at Hussy Models react when you called them and told them that you were ready to sign up again?
I think that Riley was pretty excited. He was almost shocked at first. He was like, "Really? Are you sure?" Like he's like, "Me?"
Yeah.
But no, he's been amazing. He's been super super patient and super accommodating to my do's and don'ts and my needs and wants. And I think that um, I think that him and I are going to be a great team. We always were in the beginning. He was always such a phenomenal agent and always treated me with nothing but love and respect. So I'm very, very excited and very grateful to be back with the Hussey family.
Yeah. I mean, I'm picturing him getting that call and being like, "Fuck yes," like.
Yeah, I'm sure he's stoked. He's, talking
Yeah.
to him is like, it's like nothing's changed, He's just,
Hmm.
some things just never change. We
Yeah.
haven't spoken in years, but it's like old times. We're able to like bullshit and laugh, and it's really good. It's super exciting. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. You said that you really want to immerse yourself in the work in the industry now, and you touched on it a little bit about your attitude and your approach to it all. But kind of go a little deeper. You talking about you want to shoot a ton. I mean, a bunch of different companies, bunch of different genres. I mean, kind of what's your approach in that sense?
So I'm not. I so I do still have my do's and don'ts, right? Like there's things that I do want to isolate solely to my personal OnlyFans. Like I do solos and customs and other things like that for my personal OnlyFans, but I really like to isolate myself in mainstream porn by just doing sex. I'm not big on like doing the fetishy stuff, so I'm probably not going to see me doing any kink or anything
Mm-hmm.
crazy like that. I've never been that was just never my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really like a big foot fetish person, but I will do like feet stuff. I will always incorporate it in a scene. So
Mm-hmm.
if a guy likes it and he wants to stick his dick in between my feet, that's totally fine. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really big on like doing like the fetishy stuff. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm going to be doing lots and lots of boy girl. You'll see what things that you can expect are boy girl girl. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple orgies we can throw in the mix. I'm definitely going to be doing some anal. I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
doing some DPs. I'm going to be doing some gangbangs, some blowbangs. There's going to be a lot of things that we
Yeah.
haven't yet that I'm really excited to finally provide my fans with because I
Yeah.
see it as well.
Yeah. And you had done an anal scene or two kind of right before you stepped away, if I'm not mistaken, right? You had started to dabble in it a little bit.
Yeah, I
Is
did
that
it
right?
for my OnlyFans though, so I have not done any
Right.
anal for any like major studio companies
Okay.
or
Okay.
DP or any of that.
But you're comfortable with it now, and you're.
Yeah, I think for the most part. I mean, I've only done two anal scenes for my. I've only done two. I'm so sorry, my
No,
dog.
that's the best part. That's the best part of this. I love
Yeah,
it.
I've only done two anal scenes for my OnlyFans. Daisy,
Hmm.
walk. Gracie, I'm so sorry. These dogs.
You have a lot of dogs, don't you? I remember seeing that on your socials. Don't you have 3 or 4 dogs?
I have three dogs. I have
Yeah.
one of my little ones is with me right now. She just got a haircut. She looks super
Let me see. Oh gosh.
brave.
What's her name?
Her name is Gracie.
That's Gracie.
She's a
Okay.
good girl.
Yeah.
But I only did it twice, but I am very comfortable and familiar with like how I cleaned out and how I like prepped and
Hmm.
got myself prepared for an anal scene. So I'm confident that, if I was on a regular mainstream porn set that I'd be able to handle it and do it just fine.
Yeah. Even though you've been away, I'm sure you've kind of observed from afar, what's going on in the industry through social media or whatever. Do you think the industry's changed at all? Do you sense that anything's different now than maybe it was?
Well, yeah, I think that the industry is a lot more inclusive. I think that it's a lot more safe for women.
Hmm.
I was actually talking to my agent about this, and I was saying that things definitely are different, but I think that they're different for the better. I think that it's a safer place for all performers to be able to feel and think and do what they want without feeling like they're going to get, you know,
You know,
you know,
ostracized or
yeah,
blackballed or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more free and kind. And also like I think that it's really really great that companies have on-set liaisons as well, because there was a time when being on set was, you never know like who was gonna grab who or who was gonna do what, or like what girl was gonna have her boundaries disrespected, and then
Hmm.
talk about it later on, and then there was nothing that she could do about it. Like there was a different time with the way things were. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't really want to go into like too much detail, but it
Yeah.
definitely is different, and it's different for the better. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I definitely think there's much more of a focus on consent and boundaries and
100%. Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Yeah. Kimmy, when you first got in, and I mean, you took off really quickly in terms of popularity and notoriety and stuff. And you were young. I've always wondered, like, what's that like for someone, especially that age? Just all of a sudden, kind of just have this fame and so many people knowing who you are. And what was that? How was that for you? Was it hard to handle, or?
No, I wouldn't say it was hard to handle. I think it was fun. I At that
Mhm.
time, when you're that young and hungry and excited, I think all that attention is always it's always fun. It can get a little difficult, especially with the negative side of it. Like I
Mhm.
remember when I was a lot more insecure when I got in. I was very insecure about my butthole. I was very insecure about,
Mhm.
my skin and like my moles, and like I had like things where like there was a lot more insecurity within me, but
Mhm.
the industry and performers and my fans, like I had never felt so free to love myself, and I
Mhm.
loved that. And so that definitely I feel like played a major part in shaping me into the confidence that I have today, which I'm super grateful for. Um, but I wouldn't say that there was like any fear of anything. I went into it and knew what I was doing, and I knew I had good judgment on certain things. But then there were other times where, like, I fuck up, and we all make mistakes, and we have to learn the hard way, and
Mhm.
whatever. But for the most part, it was a lot of fun, and I had a blast, and I loved meeting new people, and I loved getting to know myself sexually. I was able to learn how to have sex in porn, which was kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Very sexually inexperienced when I got in.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. I mean, if you look back on some of like my very, very first scenes, I was a lot more like timid, and I was a lot more like you could tell there was like a little bit of a sense of insecurity that like I wasn't going to be doing this right, or I didn't know really what I was doing. So I had to learn as I went on what guys like and how they like their dick stroked, and whether they like their balls sucked, or how to
Mhm.
suck the balls without pulling on the fucking nutsack too hard. And like
Yeah.
there were a lot of things that I learned, and now I feel like I have such a great understanding of sex in general, with women,
Mhm.
with men, with myself, that um, that's something that I'm really, really grateful for in porn, because I
Right.
was able to apply that to my personal life as well.
Yeah. So obviously you're known for cowgirl and your writing skills. You certainly don't look like you were inexperienced on that. How did that come? How did you get so good at that? Was it? I mean, do you have to? How does that happen? I mean, is it just reps? A lot of scenes, or is it just a natural
I,
talent?
I I think that it was a natural instinct. Well, I do owe some of it to being a stripper prior to porn, and
Hmm.
I always think that girls should at least be a stripper before porn. Like if you're gonna
Hmm.
get into porn, at least put like a few months in the strip club, because it'll teach you how to gyrate and how to give a lap dance and how to like move your body and how to do certain things. And that was one thing that I knew how to do, was bounce my butt from being on stage and twerking my
Hmm.
butt in customers' faces and whatever. And I didn't think that that was something that I was going to need to do in porn
Hmm.
until I did it. because also I was motivated by my insecurity about my butthole. Like it wasn't that I had an issue with my butthole. I just it was so like intimate for me. I was like, oh, I don't want people to see my butthole. Like this is so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it was so like vulnerable for me and I didn't want anybody to see it. So when I would get in cowgirl, the guy would like grab my ass and like spread it open and I'm like, wow, you're really exposing like my biggest insecurity. So I would like bat his hands away and I would just like ride really fast thinking that like
Mm-hmm.
nobody could see my butthole. But
Mm-hmm.
people took to it and they're like, wow, this is amazing, nobody else does this. And I'm like, oh, okay, good, I'll keep doing that so this way you don't have to see my butthole too. It worked for
Yeah.
me. It's a win-win.
Yeah. It's funny. I was actually talking about you with a performer a few days ago, Seth Gamble,
Yeah.
about your talent, and he said, what's amazing about you doing that is it's fast and intense, but it's controlled. Like you know what you're doing. It's like you're not going to hurt him. You know what I mean? He's not worried about you like popping off and then coming down and hurting him. So
Well, that
I
makes me
guess
happy. I'm glad that obviously the guys like it too, because I always felt like it was just for show. But I know that there's a lot of guys that are like, no, it actually feels really good. But I can feel, and when he says about the control, I can feel the dick, right? So I don't know if this is too graphic for the
no,
interview.
it's not. It's
I
fine.
I can feel the dick inside of me and where it is. So I know like what part of his dick is being stroked inside of me and how I'm moving and giving him the pleasure as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like you just turn it, you're like one with the person. It's kind of crazy how I kind of
Yeah.
turn this like primal state. I don't
There's a
know.
lot of thought that goes into that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you're an elite performer, I think another reason people really like you is you're such a personality. And it's just, and you see that on social media a lot with your Instagram, and I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think people have probably feel really attached to you because you choose to share a lot about your life and stuff. What's your kind of approach to social media and putting yourself out there? I guess.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I guess my approach to that was when I first started doing that, I know who I am and I am quirky and I am very outspoken and I am only human and I make mistakes and for me, I didn't want to be just some not that this is targeted to any specific women or any girls, but I didn't want to be just like I feel like how everybody else was in
Hmm.
where like every girl's very, very, very specific on what they show and they want everybody to just see them as a sex object and whatever. I want people to see me for the person that I am as well.
Hmm.
Um, because that was something that I always wanted to make sure that I never lost. I didn't want to lose me. I didn't want to lose myself. I wanted to be able to have both of my worlds separated, but also integrated in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And so I remember like when I had gotten my Instagram deleted and I had to make a new one. I was like, you know what, fuck this. Like I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna just be myself and if people don't like it then they can go fuck themselves. And I started just doing things a specific way and I people just took to it. They were like, wow, you're so funny and you're so this. I'm like, dude, I'm just being myself. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I didn't want to just be like some just dumb bimbo like
Yeah.
fucking whatever. I feel like it's easy to stereotype porn women
Mhm.
as just
Yeah.
dumb bimbo, like useless. Like there's people are so fucking mean, and I think that it's important to like not allow people to see you as that, because we are people and we are humans and we do have personalities and we have lives and we struggle with mental health issues and we struggle with things too. Like we're not just some fucking robots that are here to give sex and that's it. Like we have more things. We're better. We're more than just those. I like to think that because I know a lot of phenomenal human beings in this industry.
Yeah.
Everybody is so cool and so kind and so fun and everybody has their issues. And for me, I wanted to kind of be an advocate for mental health and be an
Mhm.
advocate for also just being a fucking human being. I don't know. That was where my mind was at. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be myself and be
Mhm.
goofy. People liked
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it really runs the gamut. I mean, some days you're hilarious, some days you're emotional, but but that's how people are. I mean, we all have those ups and downs in life, right? And we see it in your
Yeah.
in your social media, you know.
I mean, listen, there's times where I should have probably locked it up and kept things off social media, but I think that I get the case of the fuck it's a lot.
I love it. Yeah.
I don't know. I get the case of the fuck it's, and I'm like, if you don't like it, then fucking unfollow me. I don't know what to tell
Right.
you.
Right. I was a little worried when I heard you were coming back because I was like, I hope this doesn't take time away from her Q&As on Instagram.
No, God
You
no.
got to keep those coming. It's a point that every time I wake up in the morning, I see like Kimmy Granger's posted 25 slides. I'm like, hell yeah, I got to set aside time in my day to watch this. This is going to be good.
No, those are so fun. I love doing Q&As. I think that it's a fun way to also like interact with my fans too, so they can,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell like sometimes when I have certain questions in there, and I can tell they're just trying to like poke the bear, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bring it the fuck on, dude. Like, if you think you can hurt me better than I can hurt me, like, good luck. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can say to me or ask me that I haven't already said to myself. And I think that was like another point that I've always tried to make is like, you can't fuck with me more than I've already
Mm-hmm.
fucked with myself. Like, I am my own worst enemy. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
those Q&As are like also a fun way for me to like show my vulnerability and like my humility.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that I can be a fucking train wreck, and I know that I can be a piece of shit sometimes, and I know that I was wrong here, and I know that, whatever. There's nothing that you can say that can affect me more than what I've already done to myself.
Yeah. I've
So,
always been. I just keep waiting for the time where like someone in the mainstream like discovers you. I mean, have you been approached ever? You know, I mean, I'm talking about like acting and humor, comedy. Just I don't know. I feel like you've kind of got a gift for that. I've always wondered if you had any other opportunities for that
no,
kind of stuff.
that's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that. No, I haven't been like technically approached, but I have been it has been suggested a lot of times with, my fans are like, you need to do stand up. And I'm like, dude, this is like, I can't do stand up because what I do, it just comes naturally on the spot. It's like one of those word vomit.
Mhm.
I feel like with stand up, it's so, you kind of have to, it's a craft, right?
Yeah.
You have to sort of have like a mental script. And
Hmm.
for me, it's just, I just am what I am and it just kind of happens.
It's
So
happened.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I would love to do like others, like venture out and do other roles in major films and whatever. That would be so much fucking fun. But I
I think it may happen one day. I think it may
maybe
happen. Just someone's as you kind of sit back and observe the industry and what's going on. Are there people that have kind of caught your eye, males, females that you kind of want to work with, or maybe it's an old scene partner that you're looking forward to reconnecting with?
in my industry.
Yeah, yeah, porn. Hmm.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I really really love Kazumi. She seems like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to potentially working with her. I think Sky Bree is beautiful. I would love to work with her.
Yeah,
Um, I would love to eventually work with Lena the Plug. There's a lot of new faces to the
yeah,
game that I look forward to. I've always wanted to work with Emily Willis, but I don't even know if she's performing anymore.
right.
Um, but there was a time when Emily Willis and I would have like been really great scene partners because I had my little
Oh,
boot and she's tiny and petite, and I feel like we would have looked really cute together, and we would have like worked
sure.
really well together because she's fun and nasty and whatever. But I yeah, and as far as the male talent go, there's so many new faces. I don't even. I'd have to. It's like one of those trial. I have to try 'em out and see who I work best with because
Yeah.
all of the guys that I used to work so well with don't shoot mainstream anymore.
Hmm. Who have been kind of your confidants or best friends, I guess, in this industry, especially, over the last 2 or 3 years when you were kind of going through stuff and getting back to where you are now?
Say that again. The first
Yeah,
beginning.
who have been kind of like your best friends in the industry, people that you've kind of leaned on during these last few years, is when you were going through some stuff, that people that have been important to you.
Yeah, Demi Sutra.
Hmm.
She's one of my closest friends in the industry, outside of the industry. Love her to death. Same with Gia Page. Love her always. Carmen Karma. She's also one of my very close and personal
Yeah.
friends. We haven't. I haven't lost touch with her, but she lives farther away now, and our lives sort of got ahead of us. And we try to stay in touch, but whenever I talk to her, it's like we never miss a beat.
Yeah.
So those three have been an amazing support group for me throughout all of this since I've been away and kind of on hiatus.
Good. Yeah. It's good. I know the industry sometimes feels like one big family, and I'm sure it's good to have people like that. So, well, hey,
Definitely.
I appreciate the time today, Kimmy. I'm excited for you, and I know all your fans are going to be hyped when they hear about this. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you in person. But thanks for taking a few minutes for me today.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate your time as well.
Absolutely. Take care.